Wonderful place to find tranquility and peace that sharply contrasts with the buzzing activity by the water. And, undoubtedly, a great place to hang up your hat for a rest. Hotel, residence, well, you can decide for yourself.
Whoa, not bad. I can't believe this is a hotel. It looks like somebody's home. And look, in case you want to greet your guests, you have a nice tea set over here. Here you go. Tastes fine. What else do we have here? Wow. Take a look at this. This piece of wood has such fine carvings on it, from plants to phoenixes and flowers. Wow, this room is like a piece of art in itself. Not to mention, it smells pretty good too. And finally, hallelujah, hallelujah. The bed. I'm sure I will sleep very well tonight. So see you in the morning. Good night.
And it's off for another day in the town of Luzhi. That spirit up there, his name is Lu Duan. And the story is that a long time ago, Lu Duan came to this ancient water town and realized what a wonderful place it was. He decided to stay, and the town is named Luzhi after him. Maybe that's just a story, but to find out the real story behind Luzhi, we have to take a look at the ancient water town. Luzhi is about 25 kilometers east of Suzhou, between Suzhou City and Shanghai. The town is only 1 square kilometer, but the natural beauty is indescribable, with still waters, stone bridges, and ancient dwellings. Luzhi is famous for its bloodline, that is the water. From a bird's eye view, the town even looks like the Chinese character Lu because of the horizontal and vertical intersection of water paths. This is the first character in the name of this town, Lu. And this character is only used in one context. That's in the name of this town. And if you take a good look, the character sort of looks like the town itself. This is the main waterway, the river that branches out into 3 tiny waterways over here, and 3 going from left to right. The locals seem to live tranquil, simple lives. The main means of transportation is still by boats that row through the water. The water lanes serve as roads, and the banks of the river are laid with stones that serve as simple docks for people to embark or disembark, or to just fetch water. One, two, three. You know, my steps are not very big, but it only took 3 to get from the bridge over there to this new one over here. That just shows you how close they are. In fact, this place has the most number of bridges by area in the entire world. And for their number and for their beauty, it's known as the Venice of the East. Luzhi has been reputed as a land of bridges for long. It's amazing to see so many famous small bridges span the merely 5 or 6 kilometer long river course, some that date back as early as the Song dynasty in the 10th century. At some point, the town had 72.5 bridges, but now some 40 remain. There's bridges of all different kinds, many arcs, 1 arc, wide and narrow, flat top, sister bridges, and so on. All these densely built bridges make Luzhi quite unique amongst the water towns. Along the sides of the water, you might also notice the boat ties. These are used to secure the position of the boat and are designed in many different shapes. It's a perfect example of a good use of functionality and art. In my opinion, the best view of Luzhi is from a boat ride. These are inexpensive and rowed by relatively local people dressed in traditional clothes. In the water town, I guess boats are the only means of transportation. They're like our modern-day cars, but maybe a little slower. Slower, but certainly smoother. But for those who choose another means to travel, you do have an option. There's such a thing as the ceiling corridors, and they run along the sides of the water, keeping us from the rain and allowing us to visit some shops along the way if you're not busy. Besides beautiful scenery, there are some culturally significant sites as well. Luzhi is a town with a long, long history. You can tell that from the buildings, the walls, even the stones on the ground. But you know, one important thing is the presence of a temple that was very important 1,500 years ago. Although today there aren't any monks, it's still known for its artistic value. The famous Baosheng Temple is located in the west of Luzhi. It is recorded that the temple was constructed in 503, having a history of almost 1,500 years. It's a holy temple with 5,000 rooms and 1,000 monks in its early days. Besides its mere size, it's also famous for the extremely precious Buddhist clay statues. The statues represent the sages, which are set on rocks made on clay, each with distinct personality and appearance. Some sages are remembered as statues, but other educators are remembered in our hearts.
You 喜欢看童话吗？
我喜欢。
喜欢，最喜欢什么童话？
我最喜欢格林童话中的打火侠。
See, I guess most kids like fables after all. I'm sure they would have liked Ye Shengtao, who is the editor, publisher, and a famous teacher in the 1920s in China. He was very unique because he wrote specifically for children. The Ye Shengtao Memorial was the former site of the 5th High School where Ye Shengtao taught from 1917 to 1922. The famous educator and writer greatly impacted modern Chinese language education. His novel idea was to teach the way to learn instead of long and detailed content in books. This idea was a breakthrough in Chinese education. Also, Ye was the first writer who created fairy tales in China in the 1920s. One of his famous pieces, called A Scarecrow, was published in 1923. His children's reading was popular amongst youngsters because they were entertaining, but also his stories had very important messages, just like Aesop's fables. 人之初，性本善，性相近，习相远. Reading this passage and sitting here gives me a feel for the atmosphere in Mr. Ye's classroom. He was a great educator who influenced many people of the day and today. Some people say that
Great literature is like a mirror. It reflects modern society, but at the same time provides us a glimpse into the future. Mr. Ye's work certainly influenced many of us. All work and no play makes Yin a dull girl. So let's get up and move.
This is the traditional harvest dance done every year around autumn, I guess. And this is the magic wand right here. Inside are special old tokens that represent money, prosperity, and a good harvest.
Clothes are an essential part of the water town, and the people of Luzhi have unique attire. In my opinion, the most elegant is the headdress.
Looks a little complicated. This is the headdress. Oh, and my little, like a veil. Do you like it?
The distinctive traditional costume worn by the women are displayed in a costume museum. Both clothes and trousers are pieced together using different materials and a variety of designs. Blues, pinks, and other colorful hues combined with flowery designs are eye-catching.
Who's cuter? I think her dress is better than mine. You see, this dress, although it's very colorful and pretty, there's actually a very useful thing about it. See the hat there? It prevents the sun from striking your face too hard. And the outfit is divided into several sections. And that's so if one part gets broken or gets dirty, you can just take it off and replace it with another one. Also, the hat here is different for different age groups. This one is nice and bright and colorful for the young girls. And back there, see the old grandma? Hers is black.
Outside, the sounds of happiness fill the atmosphere. With its perfect scenery and utopian atmosphere, it's easy to imagine why Luzhi is a perfect place for weddings. A perfect place, a perfect day, and a perfect way to end my journey.
We began our journey by the water, and so here we will conclude. Some people say that if we look at the past, we can learn about our future. Who knows where these waters will take us to tomorrow? I'm Yin, and see you next time on Travelogue.